Hi guys, so we'll be going through the Emacs tasks. So let's see. Going on. Yeah, so here it is. Um, Let me just zoom in a bit. Okay, so I think it's okay this way. So the Emacs tasks, right? So Emacs is just like uh, majorly like an editor, like your, if you are familiar with any IDE, like your S Code, Visual Studio, or let's just say your Word program, Microsoft Word. You understand? It is used to impute text stuff. You understand? So you can use it to code. But majorly, it has more functions than that. But I'm just using this for you to understand, because the name might not give you, because you're new to it, so you don't know what it is used for. So it says congrats, now you know how to navigate into a Unix system. It's time to test and decide what would be favorite editor to use, Emacs or VI. So this editor, we have both Emacs and VI. So this one is for Emacs, so you choose. For me, I think I prefer this VI because it's very simple, but if you need to know something hard that has more features, I think Emacs is better. But VI is very easy to use. During this project, you play with Emacs. So let's play with Emacs and see. So we have how many resources? Just one resource, right? So which is this first one, a guided tour of Emacs. So I'll be reading it for us to go through it. I opened it here as well. Let me close it. So GNU Emacs, a guided tour of Emacs. So let's go through Emacs. So the GNU Emacs manual calls Emacs the extensible, customizable, self-documenting real-time display editor. So they call it extensible, customizable, self-documenting real-time display editor. It's used to edit, right? But this description tells beginner little about what Emacs is capable of. To give you an idea, here is a sample of the things you can do with Emacs. So let's see what we can do with Emacs. Beyond, okay, I think, sorry. Is this, let's click on this picture and see what's there. Okay, this is a GNU Emacs, one concept of GNU Linux, okay, blah 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 blah. This one is just a snippet of Emacs. Okay, so beyond just being able to edit plain text, like I said, Emacs includes special features to help you write in many different human languages and programming markup languages. So you can write in different languages. Here we have the Asian languages, Arabic, blah blah blah, English, and many other languages. So with Emacs you can do that. This is the hashtag one. Click on any of this picture to make them bigger. So that's that. Then I click fill this one. Arabic, Dutch, that's Netherlands, English, Finnish, Finland, French, Francais, German, Dutch, like Dutch, Greek, and many other languages. So you should know that it can make you code in different language. So let's say hashtag 2. We are getting to the end already. As well as tool for compiling, running, and testing programs. Emacs integrated with GDB to provide an IDE, so integrated development environment. So Emacs, they integrate it with GDB so that it can provide IDE. So you can use it to compile a file and to run a file and to test your program. So you can use Emacs to do that. So if you can use it to code your HTML, your CSS, I know most people are familiar with that, and then you can use to run it to see if you know the way we run on after you are done with HTML, the way you run it on the browser like this. You can use this Emacs to do that. And what they did was they combined it with GDB to provide that IDE. Okay, so Emacs and GDB to provide IDE. So let's go down. So 3, Emacs can compare 2 files, and I like their differences. So this is Emacs comparing 2 files. So if you look at this file, it has double trans, blah blah blah, double down, int, this int to state, but these are the differences. This one is an integer and this one is a double, but this one NSA, and so it is just the int and the double that is different. So you can compare 2 files together, and then it will tell you the difference between them. So it is a very beautiful tool. I'm not sure VI can do that. So far we've talked about 3 things. Let me just go back one more time. The coding in different languages, the used to running and compiling, and also to differentiate, to pick out the difference between 2 files. So number 4, Emacs is a file manager. We know what file manager are, to store files. Okay, so Emacs is a file manager. You will see more of the properties of the files, other things like that. So I think all these commands are commands for the file manager. I'm not sure to get to the I think this is a directory or something, I don't know. So it's a file manager. Emacs can read news, mails and RSS feeds. Let's see how it looks like. So Emacs can read mails and other things. I think this is a mail. So it's going to read it, and then RSS feeds. That's number 5. Number 6, you can even play Tetris. You know that game now, bricks game, on Emacs. So it's like a gamer as well. You see that it's very powerful. I'm not sure your Xcode can play game, right? So it is a gamer, and there's a game that comes with it. So I think there's a command for it, but I'm not sure. So you can play Tetris on it. You might see why some people consider Emacs to be not merely a text editor, but also a complete operating system. Some users find that they can do almost all of their work from within Emacs. You get? So why Emacs? Emacs helps you to provide helps you be productive by providing an integrated environment for many different kind of tasks. All of the basic editing commands, and there are a lot of them, are available no matter what you are trying to do. Write code, read a manual, use a shell, or compose an email. So you can use the Emacs to compose email, to write a code, to read, and also to use a shell. Okay, you'll be understanding what a shell is later on. So all the tools Emacs provides for opening, saving, searching and processing text are available to you no matter what you are doing. So all those tools will be available to you once you are using Emacs. It's not like you are going to buy a plan for it. So where are we? Okay. No matter what you are doing, this uniformity means that working within Emacs is often easier than learning to use a separate program, especially when the program is liable to have its own set of editing. So it means that when you are using Emacs, instead of using another program to play Tetris, Emacs will just do all those things for you. Okay. So if Emacs doesn't work the way you would like, you can use the Emacs LISP, called ELISP, Lisp, Emacs Lisp language to customize Emacs. So if you don't like the way it's working, you can use this Lisp language to customize it. Automate common tasks, like you give it a automation for some common tasks, or add new features. Ellipse is very easy to get started with, and yet remarkably powerful. You can use it to alter and extend extend almost any feature of Emacs. So all those features of Emacs, you can alter them, change them, extend them. You can make Emacs whatever you want it to be by writing Ellipse code. You understand? So Ellipse will help you change code in Emacs. One testament to this is the fact that all the features pictured above and many more described later in the tour are written in Ellipse. Emacs is also portable. You can use the same editor with the same configuration on many platforms, including GNU Linux, BSD, and other Unix derivatives, and some proprietary operating systems such as Microsoft Windows. So before we get started, if you install Emacs first, you can follow along with the example presented here. Whether you decide to start using Emacs, you should take the Emacs tutorial. It's an interactive hand-on which will familiarize you with many things, including starting and exiting the Emacs, basic text movement and editing command, opening and saving files, Emacs concepts. These are the concepts: the windows, the frames, the files, and the buffers. Invoking commands with key binding and with MX. To run the tutorial, start Emacs and type C/H and T. That is Control H. So C-H is this C stands for control, and then H, and then T. So you do Control H and then you follow by T. So C stands for control. Okay, so whenever you see C, so to run tutorial, start Emacs. So this command will make you start Emacs. You do Control H and T. So to run tutorial, start Emacs. So this one will run the tutorial. So after you start the Emacs, this Control H and T would run the tutorial for you. So all the features described in the tour works in GNU Emacs 23. Some features described weren't included in the previous version. So this version 23 is a latest version according to them, which should be installed separately. So occasionally I will say this something like this. Let's see the info. Emacs using region. For more information, Emacs using, so you can see these ones. Emacs using region. So convert case. Okay, so if you are operating on once you have a region, here are some of the ways you can operate on it. So kill it with Ctrl W, killing and moving text. Copy it to the key ring with MW. Convert case with Ctrl X, Ctrl L, or Ctrl S, Ctrl U to every command. Undo changes with Ctrl U or Ctrl dash, and then replace text. So you have to cram and memorize all this. Save it in a register with Ctrl X, RS. So and so on and so forth, like that. So you can read that yourself. Sorry, let's go back. This refers to a page in the Emacs manual which you can read by following the link. However, you can also read such pages directly in Emacs by using the built-in documentation reader. So you can use the built-in documentation reader to read, and then called info. To do this, press M, then type info quotation mark Emacs using region followed by RET, and then double colon. So this would bring out this prompt out. Let me click on it. So to bring out that prompt that we just read. So this is what you do to get this prompt, to get that thing. You don't need to write it down. If you can save this on your head. First press M, and then info Emacs using region, followed by RT. The Emacs manual is an excellent resource for learning about Emacs. You can read it from which Emacs by typing Ctrl HR. Don't forget Ctrl H and then T will give you that tutorial. Ctrl H and R will make you read the Emacs tutorial. We'll open the Emacs manual. Let's read the Emacs manual and see. Okay, HTML, blah 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 blah. Okay, let's just go. You can read that on your own. I don't want to make this video extremely too long. The Emacs manual is an excellent resource for learning about Emacs. You can read it from within Emacs by typing this. So Emacs has numerous other help features, some of which can be described later. You can view a list of all help features by typing Ctrl H, Ctrl H. So this one will give you the help. This one will open manual. Ctrl HR, Ctrl H, Ctrl H will open all the help. So with all the help, you'll be able to get everything you want. Okay. The power of text manipulation, which is the basic thing we want to use Emacs for. Emacs gives you a large collection of tools for manipulating text, which turns out to be a Swiss Army knife of sorts, because Emacs also has ways to present all kinds of information in text. Here is one example. Emacs Direct involves Direct, the file manager mode. So this Emacs Direct, as we saw up there, as we've seen it up there, it will open the directory, like I said, the file manager mode on a directory of your choice. Then Ctrl X, Ctrl Q or MX W Direct change to W Direct mode switches to editable direct mode. So if you want to edit this, you do this command MX W Direct change to, so or Ctrl X, Ctrl Q, and that will work. Ctrl X, Ctrl Q. You have to write all these things down in order to be used to it. You understand? So you'll be able to edit this directory mode. Ctrl X, Ctrl Q. I don't really use Emacs, so I don't like it. So Ctrl H, Ctrl H will give you the features. Ctrl X, Ctrl Q. Let me open my touch and X. Okay, would help you edit the directory. In this mode, changing the file name in the right hand job and then typing Ctrl S, Ctrl X to save it. So once you've changed it, you can just do Ctrl S, Ctrl save, Ctrl X, Ctrl Q to edit, S to save. You get. So saving is quite easy if you know S and Q already. Rename the indicated files. Renaming file is as easy as editing text. Batch renaming. Renaming every file of the form icon-x to backup icon X is easy as performing a search and replacing Emacs query replace. I wasn't following, sorry. Okay, so you say renaming file is as easy as editing text, right? So batch renaming, there's batch renaming, e.g. renaming every file of the form icon underscore wildcard, they call this wildcard, to backup icon wildcard is easy as performing a search and replace. So MS query replace or M percentage. There is no need to learn to use a separate batch renaming tool. So if you want to rename batch, it's also as if you are doing normal rename. You understand? So there is no need to learn I think it's just this wildcard that you have to add. From within Emacs, you can interact with not just file and directories, but system utilities, compilers, debuggers. So personal information manager, the web, email, chats, various other internet services, and more. And there is an ecosystem of third-party tools to make even more functionality accessible because of the integration. The benefits of learning to use any Emacs editing feature, say search and replace, are multiplied many times over. Basic editing commands. So this thing is quite long. So basic editing command. One way that Emacs lets users work quickly and efficiently is by providing high-level commands for moving around in and manipulating text. There are commands that operate on characters, words, lines, sentences, paragraphs, pages, function definitions, white space, and more. You can use them anywhere you read or edit text. Source code, web pages, shells, direct listing, email message, and so on. Okay, so that's that. Moving around in buffers. The most basic buffer movement command: move points, cursor by row lines or columns. Control forward, that's what I call it. Control F, forward one character. You do Control F to move by one character. So this one is moving in buffers, moving around the text, right? So you do Control F, it will go forward. Instead of using your it's not like you are using your left and right arrow key. You do Control F, move forward one character. C/B, Control B, backward, back one. Control N, next line, to move to the next line, and then Control P, previous line. You understand? So these are basic moving in buffers. To move around in large increments: Control A, beginning of the line. Control E, end of line. So forward one word, M and F. I think this M has its function. I've forgotten. If I remember, I will let you know. So previous screen, MV, previous sentence, all these things you have to come back and be checking them, and then once you are practicing them, you get used to them. Next sentence, ME, control, next screen, Control V, end buffer, M, and then the greater than sign, beginning of buffer. When you get used to these keys, they are faster than their more familiar equivalent in other applications. Home, end, control, blah blah. Because you don't have to move your hands from the touch typing position, and these keys are far faster than using a mouse to move around in the buffer. So because your hand will still be on the keyboard, you can quickly do them easily without using your mouse. Emacs will provide additional commands for moving around in context specific ways. In source code command to move to the previous or next function definition. So many of the above commands move to a location. Oh, I need water. Where's water? Let me get water, sorry. Okay, I'm back. So, welcome. Yeah, I'm tired. It's okay. So, Emacs often provide additional command for moving around in context-specific ways. In source code command to move to previous or next function definition. Many of the above commands move to a location relative to your current position in the buffer. So you can use, so you know what, we are supposed to grab notepad and jot all these important ideas, but maybe onward we'll do that. Okay, good. Why is this thing opening in double? Close, man. Okay, good. So many let me see if I can just copy all this. Good. Good. That's the navigation of it. Okay, good. And just like this and okay, good. So go back. So we have another one. Many of the above command move to a location related to your current position in the buffer. So you can use them repeatedly. CP, that's control P, that's control previous, control previous, control previous, to move back 3 lines. You can use the prefixes argument to save time. Control U followed by a member of a movement command repeated the command the specified number of times. You can also use M digit instead of control U digit if you use blah 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 blah. So omitting the digit can save time when you don't know precisely how many minutes you want to jump away. So if you use control U3 control P, it will go back 3 times instead of digits. So I think this control CU or M and then digits, you mention the digits how many times. Move M1 M0, this one is 10 character, you are moving forward 10 character. So you can just put the commands that okay, 10 times do CF 10 times. So to start with 10 times you do M1 to M0, or you just do C U and then control U and then the number of times you want to do this forwarding. You understand? CU 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 CN CU CU and then CN. If CN is I think 4 times, then CU CU will be 4 times 4, which will be 16. 4 times 4 times 4, which will be 64, I guess. I don't know. So that will be that. You can jump directly to a particular line number in a buffer. MG jump to specified line, blah blah blah. So let's copy this command too and add to the notepad. So I might drop this at the end, so I'll go to the previous ones too. We are here, right? MGG. So let's go to the ones we've been doing from the top. We talked about the Emacs, the usefulness, and then to run tutorial. So let's copy this one as well and paste it here. So we'll have them, don't need to disturb ourselves when we need them. Okay, so and then let's put down which one again. Read it by typing. So let's type this, all this, and all that. Okay, so text manipulation. Let's read this. Okay. So saving in Emacs. So this one is after you've changed the file name. Let's copy all this. Let's copy all this. I need it. And what else? We've copied this, right? Okay, basic editing. Did you copy that? Yes, we did. Okay, good. So where are we? MGG, right? So search for text in a handy way to move buffer in a buffer. Think of search as just another facility for movement. When you are looking for something specific, you can use incremental search to take you right there instead of scanning by line. So you can do incremental search. Control S, incremental search forward. Control R, incremental search backward. So go to this, copy it, and then let's put it down. Control V, enter, and then mark. So Emacs remember something called the mark, which is a previous cursor position. So mark is where your cursor is previously. You can set mark to indicate a particular place in your buffer so you can return to it easily. So you can put, let's say for example, my cursor is here. I can set this place as my mark and then go back there later. So Control X at a later time will return to a mark. So this one would return to a mark, right? Copy. Actually, this command also move mark to where point formerly was. Therefore, a second return it to original position. So this command would, and also what, return to where, to normal. Sorry, my P is not pressing, so let's just copy this one. I don't know, it stops sometimes. Position. So okay, good. So set mark to current location. So you want to set it to current location. This one will make you go to that mark, right? This one, swap point and mark. So swap point, this one is swap point, right? And then this one will be set it. I want to set it, so let's copy it and let's just put it here. Cool. That's that. And then you can set mark explicitly, but certain commands set mark for you, providing you with convenient foothold as you move around your buffer. So this one will set mark to your current location. This one will jump to either end of the buffer. You understand? Exit incremental search when you begin search, blah blah blah. So as you can see, Emacs tries to be helpful. Many commands that have the potential to take you long distance set marks so that a simple Ctrl X Ctrl A takes you back to where you were. Emacs makes it difficult to lose your place in the buffer. Even if you have a detour, you don't need to scroll around to get back to where you were. You understand? So Emacs saves many previous values of the mark for you. You can cycle through the mark range, which contains the last 16 marks you set in the current buffer. Cycle through mark. So you can cycle through it, and then the last 16. So this one would go to the previous mark, and then if you do it again, go through the previous one before that. So it can save, I think, up to 16 marks that you've set. So let's just put that one to there. Cycle through mapping up to 16. My email is not working, so let's just copy this P. I have a keyboard, but there's no light. I can't be stressing myself right now. Up to 16, and then let's go. Good. So the next thing is region. Okay. So mark serves another purpose. Marks and point. Marks have another mark and point together. Delineate the region. Many commands operate only on the text in the region between marks and points. You can set the region explicitly by setting mark CSPC, control SPC, and then moving points elsewhere, or by clicking and dragging with the mouse. Emacs provides some commands which set the region for you by moving points and mark appropriately. For example, Ctrl XH make region contain the entire buffer to select all, and then MH make region contain the current paragraph. This thing is getting longer. Don't worry, VI is very simple, and even the material is not as long as this. Okay, so other commands helpfully set the region, okay, as they do. CY, inserting a file, inserting a buffer, blah blah blah. Narrowing restricts the movement and editing of a buffer to a certain region. There is handy when you are only working with a small part of a buffer. So what is this buffer? Let us check. What is buffer in Emacs? Okay, what is buffer in Emacs, right? So let's see. So buffer in Emacs editing are objects that have distinct name and old text that can be edited. So I think if that's it, then probably a file name. The file will be a buffer. Buffer appeared to LISP program as a special data type. You can think of the content of a buffer as a string that you can extend. Insertions and deletions may occur in any part of the buffer. Okay, so is there image for buffer? Let's see, maybe to make us. Okay, these are buffers. Buffers. It's not clear. Let's see if it's good. Okay, yeah, buffer are different files like that. Buffer. Someone is calling me. I'll have to be right back. And okay, so mark server, another purpose. Mark and point. It marks and point together. Delineate the region. Many commands operate only on the text in the region you can set the region explicitly by setting mark Ctrl SPC blah blah blah. Okay, we've copied this one, so it is Ctrl X and H, which make region contain the entire buffer to selector, while MH would make region contain the current paragraph. Okay, let's just continue and see. So other commands helpfully set the region as part of what they do. Ctrl Y, inserting a file and inserting a buffer. So this one of all the buffer all set the region surrounded by inserted text. Okay, so let's use this one as well. So these are all the things that we need. Enter the next one. Now when you restrict the view and editing of a buffer to a certain region, this is handy when you are only working with a small part of a buffer. So the command like incremental search or beginning of buffer or end of buffer don't lead you out of the region of interest. The command like search and replacement don't affect the entire file. So we have Ctrl X NN, which narrow buffer to current region, and Ctrl X NW, which restore or widen the buffer. Okay, so let's paste this one as well. So for more information on Emacs narrowing, click on that. So killing and cutting text, if you want to kill or cut is also called killing. As with text movements, Emacs provide command for deleting text in various amounts. We have Ctrl K, which kill the portion of the current line after the point. So let's say you are in a point here, so it will kill the portion of the current line after this point. If this is the point, so anything after it will kill it by doing Ctrl K for kill. Okay, so let's put that down, and then the prefix argument for CK can be used to kill multiple lines. So you can also use it to kill multiple lines. CK kills line, and Ctrl U 10 CK will kill 10 lines. Okay, so Ctrl U 10, you type 10, and then this. So if you want to type 5, you replace this 10 with 5. So let's jot that down as well. Okay, let's put space, and then the following commands operate on the region and are the closest analogs to cut and copy in Emacs. So this one will cut, Ctrl kill region. This one will kill region. This Ctrl K will kill the portion of the current line, while this one will kill region. Okay. YMW would save region to kill ring without deleting copy. So this MW will what? It will save the region to kill ring without deleting copy. So let's just paste this, and then the next one, this command are also handy. MD, which will kill next word and kill to end of sentence. So this one would cut it as well to end of sentence. So let's save that. I'll attach this file to the description so you can see it. Also, we have so all of the above command kill the text being deleted, which means the Emacs will move the text and squirrel it away for later retrieval. So most commands which delete significant amount of text kill it rather than simplify removing it, so that you can use those commands either to delete text or to cut it for later use. So to kill it instead of deleting it, so that you can use it later. So yanking or pasting text. yanking or pasting. Pasting means yanking as well. So you've cut. Now let's know how to paste. So if you want to paste, control W or control K, kill line or region, right? So if you want to paste now, after a piece of text has been killed, it goes to a place called the kill ring. So this is what I explained to be like a buffer, which is analogous to the clipboard. Okay, so it is anonymous to the clipboard. Okay, so the kill ring. So to go to the kill ring, you can yank an item to restore it from the kill ring with Control Y. So unlike the clipboard wherever the kill ring is capable of holding many different items, if the item you want to yank is not placed when you type CY, type MY repeatedly if necessary to cycle through previous kill item. So this one will just unlike clipboard that it will just hold one thing. If you do MY repeatedly, to be cycling through all the ones that you copied or cut or killed. You understand? So that's why it's a kill ring. All the ones that you've killed, a ring of them. So you do Control Y to the last one, then this one will be going through all the ones that you've done. Okay. So let's place that. Okay, so let's go. This Emacs is very long, so recall that most commands which delete a large amount of text in fact kill it, so you can restore it later. Emacs makes it very difficult to lose a lot of text permanently. So in editors with only a single clipboard, one can easily accidentally delete a large chunk of text or clutter the content of the clipboard. So Emacs is very powerful, can you see? So by cutting two items in succession, but in Emacs, in either of these places, the lost text can easily be retrieved from the key ring. Okay, so you can also do undo. Emacs can undo facility work, slightly different from that of other editors. In most editors, if you undo some changes, then make some new changes, the states formerly accessible with redo. You understand? When you undo on some other editors and you type, let's say I type to, for example, and I haven't typed all this one, then I undo it, it will take me back here, right? So if I now put to avoid accidentally, okay, and I do undo, it will remove this one, and it might be hard to go back to this initial place that I started. You get? So the redo can no longer be. So let's say it has even taken me back here, so I want to redo it back to this part. It might not longer be recovered. So when using undo and redo it extensively, one has to be very careful to avoid accidentally clubbering the redo list. Okay, so Emacs is a different undo model which does not have this deficiency. Okay, so after any consecutive sequences of undos, Emacs make all your previous action undoable, including the undos. This will happen whenever a sequence of undo is broken by any other commands. If this sounds complicated, just remember that undo is always capable of getting you back to any previous state your buffer was in, as your text was in. Okay, unless Emacs has run out of memory to store the undo history, the principle here is that Emacs makes it very difficult to accidentally lose your work. Okay, so undo is available via 3 ways. So you can do control and backslash, you can do control underscore or control XU. All these are the undo options. So all these things, instead of going through all the material. If you have this, it will help you. Okay, so you have it. So if you need to get back to previous buffer state, simply move the cursor so as to break any existing sequence of undos. So if you need to get back to the previous buffer state, move the cursor so as to break any existing sequence of undo. Okay, so that one is just telling that if you need to go back to the previous buffer state, let's say you want to go back, you have typed to this place and you want to go back to this place, simply move the cursor so as to break an existing sequence of undos and press Ctrl this until you find what you want. To learn more about it, you click that. Let's go. Incremental search. CS, Ctrl S, incremental search. What does incremental search do? Let's just paste that one first. Incremental search. So all the commands are here. Typing Ctrl S followed by some text. Start incremental search. He must jump to the next occurrence of whatever you have typed. So if I do Ctrl S followed by some text, it will start an incremental search. So as you are typing it, you may have seen similar behavior in Mozilla Firefox or web browser. All matches visible on your screen are highlighted. So if I do Ctrl S and I press I think the find key, then it will help me search for things that are of similar character. Within incremental search, you can type Ctrl S again at any time to jump to the next occurrence. So let's say I'm done I've pressed divine key. I can do Ctrl S to jump to this place, Ctrl S to jump to this place, Ctrl S to jump to this. So when you find that what you are looking for, you can either type ret or use almost any movement command to exit each of the occurrence you found. Okay, so you can use the ret or cg to cancel to return to the. Let me see if all these things are written. Okay, cg. Okay, cg to cancel. Let me just type ret here and then say to the cancel to return to where you just started. So let's copy this to this place, because let's just copy this entire line because these commands are not written down there. We just need this because we cannot be going through all this file. It's too long. So incremental search. Once you see this incremental search, you know that it's about this one. So to return to where you started, when your search started, if you exit search at the found occurrence, you can easily jump back to where you started with. So you can jump backward if this one has cancelled it. Do Ctrl X, since incremental size sets mark appropriately. This command help you issue previously issued queries. Ctrl S. This one is to is to go from this to this. Search for most recently searched item. Okay, this one is Ctrl S MP previous item in search, blah blah blah, next item in search. So we need all these things. We'll be using them little by little, and then with time you get used to them. Okay, so let's go down now. You can perform a backward incremental search with CR, so it will just go, instead of coming forward checking, it will be going backward. Okay, so all of the above commands can be activated similarly from within backward search at any time during a forward or backward search. You can type CRCS to switch to a backward search. Okay, so let's copy that place also. type see I can see one rat trying to leave my room. Yeah. Okay. So you can just see out and see the rat. Do you know it's climbing the wall? I haven't seen this kind of rat before. It's climbing the wall, trying to. I'm looking at how we want to escape now, so I know where to block or what to do. I hate rats, seriously. Search and replacement. So, wow, it's climbing the wall so good. Hold on, 1 second. I just tried to kill it and it ran. Okay, so search and replacement. This query replace. Copy. The query replace command prompts you for a search string and a replacement. Then, for each match in the buffer, you can choose whether or not to replace the search string. Again, the query replace command prompts you for a search. It will tell you, okay, what do you want to search for, to search a string and a replacement. Then for each match in the buffer, you can choose whether or not to replace the search string. Here are some options available from the prompt. So this one is quite simple, and what is telling you that for example, let's say you have this in your command prompt define key, and you want to replace this define key with map. Okay, so after pressing define key, it's now prompt you that you want what is the new thing that you want to replace it with. Then you press map and then it will replace it with it, and then it will tell you, do you want to replace this one too with map? You skip it to go to the next one, and I think that's what that place is telling us. So when you type after you've typed this query replace, type Y to replace the current match, type N to skip to the next match, type Q to exit without doing any more replacement, type dot to replace this match, then exit, type not to replace all remaining matches with no more questions. Okay, so this will be needed as well. Okay, and okay, I mistakenly clicked on this one. So see info on query replace for more information and this and other options. You can also type question anytime inside the search and replace option to see guide. So you can use this one also to see guide. So let's just put that down as well. Okay, so regular expression search. Emacs allows you to search for regular expression. So Control MS, regular expression search. Regular expression are a succinct way of searching for many different strings at once. So you want to search for many different strings at once by using a special language to describe the form of what you are looking for. Okay, so regular expression are a succinct way to search for many different strings at once. You want to search for so many strings at once by using a special language to describe the form of what you are looking for. Regular expression syntax is beyond the scope of this talk, so see this for more information. If you are new to regex, or you are constructing a particularly complicated regexp, you can use the regexp builder, which is MRE builder. More command pop up a separate window in which you can test your R in GSP, blah blah blah, and any matches in your original buffer will get highlighted as you edit your R in GSP. I'm trying to look at the article, I'm still going to see it. Anyway, instead of jumping through matches one by one, you can also choose to display them all at once. Emacs occurs prompt. It prompts you for a regular expression. Emacs occur will prompt you for a regular expression, then display in a separate buffer a list of all lines in the current buffer which matches that blah 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 blah. This one is not really that important for now, so let's go through regular expression, search and replacement. So you want to do a regular expression search and you want to replace it. So regular expression are even more powerful in search and replace because Emacs allows the replacement text to depend on the found text. Okay, it allows the replacement text to depend on the found text. You can control replacement by inserting special escape sequence in the replacement string, and Emacs will subtitle them appropriately. So when you type this in the replacement string, the original, so when you type this and then the original found text, this with the first and second etc, when it will replace it with all this. This one, if you type this, the number of replacement done so far, to replace it with that. So let's just copy this and just paste it there, hopefully, just to, okay, here's an example, blah blah blah. Okay, suppose we have a buffer containing names like this. Okay, so a buffer, a page containing something like this, right? So if we run mx replace regap and replace the regexp with this with uppercase 2 blah blah blah, so it should uppercase 2 1. So I think that one is telling us to make all this place, our buffer will now look like this. It should make all this place uppercase. Okay, so if you can see, regexp replacement is capable of doing some pretty sophisticated transformation. Roughly, the search expression search for 2 words, the replacement string inserts an uppercase version of the second word followed by a comma. So it added a comma to it as well, followed by the first word. So what it did is it replaced with the second word, right? It replaced it and then turned it to uppercase, and then the first one is there. Sorry, where is that? Zoom. Not supposed to be zoomed out. Okay, so that's what that did. Keyboard macros are a way to remember a fixed sequence of keys for later repetition. They are handy for, I'm going to do a practical demonstration for Emacs, so you should watch out. And yeah, you can turn on my notification in order to get it once it's done. They are handy for automating some boring editing tasks. And I've already made VI. VI is very simple, and I did practical on that, so can check that out. Keyboard macros are a very way to remember when we fixed this blah blah blah. So this one is to record keyboard macros. So I'll just paste this for you as well here. You can just add them. For example, this sequence of key does the exact same transformation we did with regular expression replacement. Where is it? Sorry. Washington, George. Look at it. It's an expression. So kind of complicated. I'm going to go through it later on. So after we record that the sequence of macro blah 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 to transform the buffer picture earlier. In the case, Emacs run the macros repeatedly until it has reached the end of the buffer. Help with commands. If you read this far, you are probably intimidated by the thought of having to remember a bunch of keyboard, I swear, command and command names. Fortunately, Emacs includes comprehensive and easy accessible documentation. The documentation isn't just for beginners. Emacs has thousands of commands, you see. You can't know everything, of which most people only use a small number, I swear. So even Emacs experts frequently consult the docs in order to learn about new commands or jog their memory on old ones. So if you don't remember what a particular key or command does, you can read a description of it by using the following command. So at least if you forget everything, you should not forget this. So this Ctrl-HK shows documentation of the command associated with any particular key. Okay, and then Ctrl-HF shows documentation of any particular command by name. What would you type after? What you would type after MX. So this one is very important. So because it is important, I'm going to make it bold. Oh, I can't make bold. Oh, sorry. Edit. Format. Oh, font. Let's just increase the fonts then. I hope it's possible. Okay. No, not all. Then I have to do Ctrl Z. Oh. What's going on? Let's change the font back. Edit. Format. Font. Go back to where it was, I beg. Where is Times New? I'm used to it because I write a lot of projects. Okay. Okay, so just know that this one is important. Okay, so for example, CHK. Okay, for example, Ctrl-HK, Ctrl-S, and Ctrl-HF I search forward right both display a page describing incremental search. So this, if we do CHK, CHS, CHK, CHS, just like this, CHK, CS, Ctrl-S, and CHF I search forward right. But we don't need that. This is handy, for example, if you can't remember what CS does. Okay, so for this one, you don't see HK according to this place, and then you want to know what CS does, then you can do CHK and then CS. Okay, so come down. Or if you remember what it invokes, if you remember that it invokes incremental search, but want to know more about the feature, the documentation gives the full name of the command, shows which key are bound to it, that's if there's any, and gives a complete description of what the command does. On the other hand, if you don't remember how to invoke a particular feature, so if you don't know how you're going to invoke a particular feature, you can use apropos to search for it. So searching for a command by keyword, or so you can use this one to search for a command by keyword, and then just paste it. I don't like this font, sorry. Let me just use Calibri. I think that might be what came with it. Up with another one. Anyway, I don't know if anyone can remember which one I was using. Probably I'll just go back to the recording and see. Okay, so that on that, for example, if I remember what I want to activate narrowing but don't remember how, I can type Ctrl H A narrow rect, which shows a brief list of commands having to do with narrow. Okay, so I can just do CHA copy to give me a list of one of which is MX narrow to region. Okay, so you can use Word to search with CHA. Okay, and that one you use, the other one you use, this one you use the command, this one you use Word. Okay, to Control V, the next line. More useful features, integration with common tools. Wait, let me just quickly check default font for what's this notepad? Note. I can press P. Notepad. Yeah. Okay. So this is the default. I never knew you see that console. Okay. So you see that console is the default. Let's go back to where we're coming from. Is this it? I guess. Yes. So format, font. Okay, it is. Wow, nice. Good. Okay, I like that. So, integration and common tools. This thing is more useful features, right? Integration and common tools. Emacs is notable for its integration with many tools. Not only can you invoke them from within the editor, Emacs usually help you use their output effectively. Here are some examples. MX shell. Start a shell in the buffer named shell, switching to it if it already exists. Use Ctrl XU MX shell to use a buffer with a different name. So this one, start a shell in the buffer named this. Let's just copy that and paste it. That command. MX compile what invokes and makes and display output in a new buffer. This one would invoke it or make it and display it in new buffer. This make is also a command we use to automatically compile. When you get to see, you get to know about to make in one of the video you watch. Okay. So Emacs GDB invokes GDB in a new buffer. Okay. So Emacs GDB will invoke GDB in a new buffer. You can use the GDB command line as usual in that buffer. So this one will invoke GDB in a new buffer. So Emacs lets you set breaking point directly from your source buffer and shows execution by marking the active line in your source buffer. Emacs can only display breaking point, the start and locals and other buffer each in their own windows. So we have MS break invokes break and print results in a new buffer. So this is just, so let's just copy it to this place and paste that one here. So these are commands that commonly. So MX man displays man pages. Man pages will give you information about a command, right? MS calculator, simple calculator, MX calendar shows. These ones are simple ones you can do. Some assorted tools that you can use in VI. So that VI is so powerful. It is so powerful, very powerful. Invoking shell command. If you need to execute a simple shell command, this command can save you the trouble of switching to an extern or starting a new Emacs shell buffer. So this one executes a command and displays the output in a new buffer. Emacs. To execute, let's say you have a buffer or a code and you want to execute that code and display what in a new page, you do m-not or m-x. Okay, so that one will do. m-x shell commands on region or mi. Execute a command piping in the current region as input. Display the output in a new buffer. Execute a command piping in the current region as input, and then it will display the output in a. So that's why we have this pipe. M-pipe. Pipe. So that down. Okay. For either command, a CU prefix will insert the output in the current buffer rather than using a buffer a temporary buffer. So this one would put the output in the current rather than using a temporary buffer to put the output. Okay. So version control. Before we do version control, let's just see how many. It's still long, man. Woo! Man, this thing is fucking long. It's still long, man. I hope we finish today. Hahaha. Sorry. But should I break it into sections? Let's just do it one at a time. Yeah, we passed it, definitely. last year. Version control. Okay. Emacs help you to manipulate and edit files stored in version control. Emacs supports CVS, Subversion, PZL, Git, HG, and other systems, but it offers a uniform interface called VC regardless of the version control system you are using. Emacs automatically detects when a file you are editing is under version control and displays something like this in a mode like this to invite the version control system in use and the current version. MX, VC, next action of C this commit the current file if you modified it. I won't copy that code. VC provides other commands for version control with tags. So CXV displays a difference showing the changes you've made to the current file. And this one prompts you for a version number and shows you. And then this one, and then this one. So just go through those commands. Okay. So Control X, Control VG displays a log of various changes to the file, blah blah blah. You have a long way to go, so let me be fast. Some special features are enabled when you are looking for a different something, whether from the file or one produced by VC. Emacs lets you move around in a different or in a diff rather by ounce of files. Apply individual ounce to a file will serve a diff and do other operations useful for reading or manually editing diffs. So editing remote files. Emacs can edit remote files transparently as if they were local using a feature called tran. So whenever Emacs asks for a file, you can indicate a remote file like so. So my name at remote blah 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 pass to the file. This one would enable you to Emacs asks for a file, you can indicate, let's start from here, a remote file like so. Oh, sorry. Why is it not popping? Because I didn't put the dot. It's not popping. Okay. I'll show you. So Emacs retrieves the file over SSH, FTP, or another method and takes care of saving it when you are done. With Tramp, you can edit files on different computers using a single Emacs section, even if Emacs is not installed on the remote side. So you can use it to work on files that are not on that particular laptop. You can also use Tramp to edit local files and another user's permission. You can edit files with root privilege via a sudo. You get to understand what this sudo means later. Copy, let me just start from here. All the codes are here. So, next one, Emacs server. So people like to keep only a single instance of Emacs open and edit all their files. If they're doing this, have a few disabilities. You can key yank text between buffer in the same instance of Emacs. Emacs remember argument histories, but only within each instance. If you have any customization, starting new instance of Emacs is slow. Alas, when you type Emacs in a shell to edit a file, or when editor is invoked by an external program, a new instance of Emacs is started. You can avoid this by using Emacs client, which instead open a new frame connected to an existing instance of Emacs. In your existing instance of Emacs, type mx server start or add server start to your .emacs file to make it do that automatic startup. To edit a file, type Emacs client -t file to a prompt. You can also change your editor to Emacs client. So you can use this Emacs client in case of this. If you are using command, so another way to edit, let's just use it up to this place. So when you are done editing, type this and this one, this within to want to start. So this one will be up. Right? Okay, good. I don't want to waste our time into this. Being unproductive and Emacs even come with diversion. You can play Tetris, Tower, and this, and Emacs psychotherapist. So all these ones are games you can play on Emacs. MX. So common Emacs component. Prefixes arguments. As we've seen, prefix arguments are sometimes used to indicate repetition. So forward 10 times, backward 4 times is common. Help you do that. And then, if this was Emacs, for example, I could copy all I need and then be pasting it, go back to the queue and then paste it and all that. It has so many functions. You've also seen a prefix argument used to, you just need to know all the commands you get that, at least to an extent. So mx shell create or switch to shell buffer named shell. So we take only against command. So create or switch, and then this one create or switch. So every code you might be using, saving commands here. Okay, we are getting to the bottom. Major modes. Even buffer has an associated major mode which alters certain behaviors. Key binding and text display in that buffer. The idea is to customize the appearance and features available based on the concept of the buffer. Emacs ships with dozens of major modes for editing widely used program language, markup language, and configuration file format. This major mode tell Emacs how to indent your code correctly, do syntax highlighting, identify boundaries of functions. Some commands we've seen like ms direct, ms compile, ms shell, in fact use their own major modes to make their buffer provide certain features. The current major mode is displayed in the mode line. The last thing on the mode line should be one or more items in parentheses, like Python arrow. The first of this is the name of the major mode. You can switch modes in an existing buffer by using Emacs and the name of the mode. So this one is to switch mode. Switch mode. This one is to switching modes in Emacs. Right? Okay. So Emacs is very good at determining the right mode to use when you open the file. So really have to use these commands, okay? So these are example of command provided by language major modes. So we have the ALX, Python, HTML, okay? So minor modes. So okay, every buffer can also have any number of minor modes, which are extra pieces of functionality you can enable independently of each other and of the major mode. Minor modes are listed in the major line after the major mode inside the parentheses. Here are a few common used ones. Okay, so Emacs. Let's copy all this. These are the minor modes. So minor modes are global, they affect the behavior of the entire editor rather than just that of the specific buffer. So let's paste this one first, and we can go back and see this one. This one is another one that we need. So Emacs incomplete mode. In this Emacs prompt and elsewhere, show completion as you type, show all buffer names when you switch buffer with CXB. So let's paste that one as well. We have so many commands now as well. Look at it. Look at all the commands that you got to keep in track. Damn. So many commands. So many. But if you take it serious very well, pick them probably 10 a day, in less than a month, you would have known a lot. So see info Emacs 9. Yeah. So if you need help with a particular mode, CHM describes the active, major, and minor mode. The mode description often lists important commands which are useful in a mode, which is helpful when you are learning to use a new mode. The mini buffer. The mini buffer is where Emacs prompts you for input in most situations for a command. When you type MX for a file name, within MX find file name, or an ellipse expression within MX equal expression. Here are some features common to most mini buffer. So you can use most buffer editing and movement command. You can move around in keep text from and yarn text to mini buffer. You can browse previous inputs to the current prompt npm. This tab completion is often available. For example, this. So don't need to worry about typing one command in like this and this. Tips for beginners. So let's see tips. In the event of emergency, here's what to do if you accidentally press the wrong key. If you executed a command and email and notified you with buffer, use this dash dash to undo that changes. Okay, so you will need that a lot. So if you press any prefixes like this, if you remove a command which is now prompting you for input, type this to. So in case of emergency, you will need this very well. No. Oh. We need this. Just this. So this one, it has changed it, and this one is if it's prompting you for command. A long running operation. So if this operation is running operation, it appears that Emacs has floating. You can use CG as well. So you should keep that in mind. Tips for beginners. Okay, keyboard and terminal setup. So keyboard and terminal setup frequently asked questions migrating to Emacs 3, 4. So we have 4 headings to go. So keyboard and terminal setup. Some Emacs users remark their caps lock key to act as an additional control key because it is easier to reach. So due to your keyboard or terminal configuration, you may find that some keys seem to do the wrong thing. If your delete key is not working, sometimes typing delete brings up a help screen as if you type CH. Try Emacs. So this one is just talking about some challenges you might have with a key. If your meta key is not working, so the M is actually the meta key. So let us see what is the meta key. What is the meta key? So let us see a picture of the meta key. Which one is the meta? The meta key. Where is meta? Is that the alt? Okay. You know what? Let's go back to you see there. No. So the meta key is a key on some keyboard normally located next to the space bar. So that's the alt key that performs special functions. Okay, alternative key. Okay, so alt key is the M that we've been seeing since all this while. Okay, so this one is alt X. Okay, so for example, escape X is the same time as alt X and escape CS. So if you see something that you're not useful, that's why Google should be your friend in this course. Is the same as CMS, that's Control Alt S. Frequently asked question. Emacs comes with a fact which does frequently explain how to perform many commonly requested tasks. Press Ctrl H, Ctrl F to load it. Migrating to Emacs. Emacs has a number of options for easing the transition from other editing environment. Emacs for Windows user in Windows. So I prefer this VI or Vim. So I think they're telling us if you want to migrate, there are some tips for us, and then Emacs resources. So let's just read the stuff that they said. In Windows, the bread and butter editing commands are Ctrl-Z, Ctrl-V, Ctrl-D. Unfortunately, these keys are frequently used in Emacs for other purposes, right? So, suspend, prefix key, and next page. Okay, so you can get this key back to undo to these things on CUA mode from the option menu. So CUA mode also lets you make a selection by using shift in a combination with here as you would do on Windows. So the CUA mode is what you need. Since this and these are so integral to Emacs operation, they are prefix key for many commands. CUA mode only binds this and this to cut and copy respectively when you have selected some. You can learn about CUA by typing this. Okay, so I learn about this by typing this. So let's just paste that in case you see it, you can try it out. And let's go to the next line. So Emacs for VI and Vim users. Let's see what they are telling about it. Viper MS is a set of modes for emulating VI editing behavior in Emacs. Okay, so if you are using it already, if you do this, it will emulate the behavior for Emacs. It will provide different level of VI adherence depending on how VI like you want your Emacs to be. Okay, so you can use this one if you're a VI person, and then with time, I think you can upgrade to the Emacs kind of thing. So Emacs is a GNU. Okay, so just read this one as well. Let me just copy. One question will be here. Emacs really contains information about many downloading Emacs. Okay, the GNU. Let me just add all these things. And then the GNU FAQ. answer many questions, beginner, and maybe someone will guide you if you want to learn more about it. All these ones we've not even learned it. You are telling us to learn more. Anyway, you can learn more if you want to. And then that will be all for now. And thank you. So let's go to our resource. Can we save this now? Save. Okay, that's saved. So let's go to our project. Sorry. So Emacs. Let's open it. This is our web terminal already. We have already opened it. Then we reload it, and then we are here. So Emacs editor, and then we've gone through this. So in Emacs documentation, what does C in a short called command stand for? Control, right? Control. In Emacs, a buffer is an object that the file text is held in. You can say true somehow, but it sounds like false. You can only have one buffer open in Emacs than true. It's not really true. It's not really true. Is that the answer? Let's pick false for now, but I think it's true. So in Emacs document, what does M in a shortcut shift M? No, I think it is meta. Alt or alt, right? M means meta or alt. So let's see. It should be wrong. One should be wrong. Oh, we are right. So control, right? Why I choose true here is in Emacs a buffer is an object that a file's text is held in. Yes, it's correct, because buffer is where the text of a file is being held. It's true, it's correct. I didn't read it very well. I thought it said being like clipboard. So if you can have one buffer open, you only one no, because remember there's a point where we say when you execute, it can open that buffer and open another buffer for to preview to show the output of the executed buffer. You understand? So in Emacs, like we just did, M is meta and also the alt key. Okay, so that's why we said what is the meta key. Okay, so but this we are done. So let's now go to let's go through the question. Control, true, false, meta, alt, right? So create your answer directly. Navigate to the root and create a directory named this. So we'll go to the root and let's now create this directory. So let me grab my keyboard. My light is off. I don't want to stand up and maybe I should just do that. Hold on a second, I'll be back. Okay. Okay, I'm back. So let us see where we are. If we check where we are, you see that we are in our root, original root, not this directory root. So we are told to go to directory root. So let's cd into root, and if you do pwd, you see we are in root now. Sorry, this is not what I wanted to do. That's clear. So ls, and these are the file pwd in the root. Okay, so we are supposed to go to the root and create a directory called this. Okay, we've already copied it to our clipboard. Just say make directory and then Ctrl Shift V, paste it, and then enter, and then you do list, and then you see that we're there. So let's cd into our directory. So Why is there no such file? Is it because I had a slash? Let's see. Okay, it is because, so let's clear and let's put pwd. So we are already in this root slash this. So let's start a new test and then let's see. Good. Okay, so let's go to the next one. It said opening. What is the command to open a file within Emacs? Write the answer into the file, and then it should be inside this file called opening. Okay, so you write your answer into the file, so you can validate if the format of your answer is correct by displaying the information below. So by the end of it, you do ls, list it, what the file here, okay, the file part. So we are going to create a file called opening. I'm supposed to use Emacs to do it, but because I'm used to VI, I will be using VI for now. Okay, so let's just do like this. So we go here and then we do ls. Did we copy it's called opening, right? Opening, okay. Ls. Wait, where are we? Okay. The first one is right. So vi opening. So what is the what's it called? The answer. It says, what is the command to open a file within Emacs? So let us check our notes. What do you think it is? Open a file. Open a file. Open the file. So you can go to F4. To open a file in Emacs, I think it's Control X or okay. To open a file in Emacs, it is Control X, Control F. Okay. So let's try that. So let's just put C dash X, C dash F, right? Okay. So let's see if this is correct. So let's do, if we list it, you see that it's there. Let us validate our file if it is there using this command. So you just copy this and paste it here. So we have it. It means it's correct, right? So if you get any error message, it means it's not. So it doesn't mean that the answer is correct. It just means that the file exists, okay, in the right place. Okay, so let's start the test and see. Okay, we are correct. So okay. So the next question says, how many questions do we have? We have 7. 1, That's 8 questions. So we've only done 2. So the third one, which is number 2, we're going to create another file called saving, and we're going to what is the command that what is the command to save a file in Emacs? Okay. The first one is the command to open a file. So let's just try this Emacs. What's the name? I want to try Emacs saving. I want to create open a file called saving, and the first one is what? Saving. Let's see it work. It actually worked, right? So we are using Emacs right now. So to save a file, it is Control this X space Control. I don't know if the control we should use capital letter, right? So let's use capital letter. Control X Control dash S. So to quit, I don't know, let's say we press Q. Okay, now we are stuck. To quit, to save, what is that save again? Ctrl X, Ctrl Q. So let's just save. Ctrl X, Ctrl S. I've saved it. Okay, so what else should I do? So this is my first time actually using Emacs. So now I want to exit. Let's just check it. Exit a file in Emacs. So we Control X, Control C, Control X, Control C. So let's go. So we Control X, Control C. Good. Let's list, and we have savings. So we are already using Emacs. So let's check our code. What's that command again? So I'll save it. Control X, Control C. So complicated. So let's see. We are correct. Yeah, we're already using Emacs. Okay, so what is the command to cut an entire line? Is it double Y? Yes, you can use this place to get your sandbox. So you should save it in cutting. Cut an entire line. Don't forget. Copy. So we'll say Emacs cutting. So the command to cut an entire line. Right? So for that one is command to cut an entire line. So search and so to cut an entire line, I think it should be Control SK. That's like kill, right? Let's just find it here. Sorry. Let's find the page. Entire line. You can see it's line. How many? It's 2 cuts. You will not see cuts entire. Cuts line. Okay. Let's just do command Okay, so that will just give you. So you say okay, Control S dash backspace. So this should work. Control S slash backspace. So let's go here. You can't paste. So just Control S slash backspace. And to save is what? Control X, Control C, right? Okay, I think we've saved. And to quit it, you do Control X, Control X, Control C, right? Control X, Control C. Okay, so we have our cutting there. So let's see if that's correct. I'm not sure. Let's see. It's not correct, then I'll click for it. It's not correct. So cutting in cut an entire line. So let's search again. Cut and copy. I think it's the YY. Let's just check here. Why this thing happened to me? I'm looking for the YY. Should be somewhere around the Y. Okay. Key the portion of the current line after point. Q line C dash K. I think this one should work. C dash K. Cause region, C region. C dash K. What does YY do? I can't remember. I know YY does copy and paste. Okay. So C dash K. So let's go there. So Emacs cutting C dash K, and then Control X, Control C. Okay. Save file. What's going on? Exiting is Control X, Control C. I did that. What is that? Saving again. You see, when you now start using it very well. Yeah, Control X, Control S. I did that. I don't know why it's not. Control X, Control S, Control S, Control C to exit it. It's not exiting. Okay, I know what this. They say, what do you want to do? Control. Type CH for Control H. Press escape. Okay, so you should tap Y. I've typed Y. Okay. Okay. By the time you start using it, you get used to it. So let's try. Correct. So So let's go to the next one. Pasting. Pasting is P, right? To paste. Could it be just P? Let's see if you have anything here regarding to pasting. I remember P pastes. Page up. So paste should be P, I guess. Pasting. Pasting should be P. Pasting should be P. Let's try it. There's nothing bad in trying. Emacs for pasting. Let's try P. Ctrl X, Ctrl S will save it, and then Ctrl X, Ctrl C will exit. Good. So let's try that. Okay, it is wrong. Okay, to paste in Emacs. Why are we stressing ourselves when we have this? Paste. Content in buffer in Emacs. Control dash, copy text to copy paste C dash Y. Oh, really? So let's try that. C dash Y, Emacs this, and then we set it C dash Y. Then Control X, Control save, Control X, Control C to quit. And then let's try it again. Start a new test. So I hope you are grabbing that. Okay. So what is the command to search forward? Then let's use searching. Copy to search forward. Let's check on it. Search forward. Search forward. I think it's this back 39 forward, then character forward. Search forward. Somewhere around down. I'm going to search forward. Anyway, search for. So, let's just quickly do this. Command to search forward in Emacs. C-S for forward search and C-R for reverse. So C-S search forward. So we do Emacs searching C-S. And then Control X, Control C, that's Control X, Control C, and then that should be that. So let's check our code. You can always just use Google. Okay, so undo, we have 3 options, right, for undo. So command for undo, we just press one out of it, copy it. So we have here, and we had so many of our undo. I saw undo just now. Okay, here they are. So control dash slash or control dash underscore and control X control. So everything you're doing is control X first control, but this one does not have control. So let's try this last one. So Emacs and then undo, and then we have control dash X and U, right? Control X, control save, control S, control C. Am I correct? Yes, I'm correct. So let's check our code. Sorry, check code. They should have given it, okay, it's correct. So anyone we use there should be correct. To quit Emacs, so quitting, so create a file called quitting, and then do like this, Emacs quitting, and then do control dash X. It's something you've been doing, control X, control S, control C. I think that's it, because control X, control C, control C. Yes, that should be it. And then go to ALX. Let's clear our screen. It is. So we have our quitting. Oh, what we have? Do we have cutting into this note? Why do we have all this? Anyway, let's do this first. Check codes. I'm supposed to have 8 files all together. That's correct. So ls dash ld. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't want to count this one. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. We're supposed to have 7 files. So this cutting, let's say cut cutting with this let's see what is there. There's nothing there. So let's remove the cutting with this one and remove the pasting with this one. So let's list it with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Correct. The 8th one is the directory itself. So we have that. Correct and close. And that will be all on Emacs. So just try and practice with it, and maybe I'll make a separate video when I'm good with it already on how to use it effectively. But I think with practice, you see, I have not tried it before, and I'm already getting used to it. Okay, so in the next video I'm going to talk about GIT, I guess, and then